Good afternoon, everyone. As the young lady said, for those who didn't know me, my name is Vashti Patfield. So I welcome everyone to this special event. Like Caryl, whose book we're going to be showcasing today, I'm a proud Buxtonian. I'm a proud daughter of Buxton. I feel extremely honored to introduce Caryl to you as the author of Caryl's Closet. Since I watched her grow from humble beginning to who she is today. I worked in the public industry for many years, and I can tell you it is not an easy task to publish a book. First, you have to have the idea, then you have to start with your manuscript. You have to do the draft, you have to have proofreaders, you have to have editors, you have to have publishers, you have to have printer, and then you, the supporters. So Caryl is here today, as I said, to introduce you to her book. I read it. It's a beautiful book. I'm going to give you a little bio about Caryl, who I said I watched grow from humble beginnings. Just bear with me. Okay. June C. Wood, Agamah, MPH, born in Guyana, South America, is currently Logistic Coordinator for International Health and Development Network. And it's a 501(c) not-for-profit organization, meaning that they get, tax credit for whatever, from the federal government. And this organization that Caryl is part of is established to help poor villages in the developing world. I mean, they do work in Africa, and they do a whole lot of work. June, an internationally recognized public health leader, has coordinated 37 missions trips to Ghana and raises annual support to help thousands get access to quality health care. June's co-chaired the local community health giving circle in her hometown, Springfield, Illinois. June holds a BA from the University of New Orleans and an MPH from the University of Illinois at Springfield, Illinois. June is the author of Caryl's Closet. Her My Story, it begins when she was a young girl. It begins when she was a young Guyanese-American immigrant coming of age in a changing society. It is set amidst the backdrop of a new political system that threatened the Guyanese way of life. It unfolds as she grapples with the immigration system of Barbados in her search for prosperity. Her life changes with the reality of a heart-stopping loss, because she lost her mom, that propelled her on her journey to America. Our quest is fraught with stories of what happens to minorities who pay the cost of social assimilation and academic success. This focus and sacrifice robs her children of the knowledge of who she really is. She was unaware of her need to open her heart. Written treasures tucked away in her closet as unearthed and became the catalyst for Caryl's Closet. This book highlights her rich heritage for her readers and generations to come. She resides in Springfield, Illinois. June is married to Dr. Adam Agamah and has 3 adult daughters, Sarah Agamah, Asaya Agamah, and Miriam Agamah. So, you can also visit our website. You can get information about our website. And hopefully, we're going to do a great job today, showcasing the book and support from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. There are times in our life when we recognize that there is something different that's going to take place in your life. And mine was very serendipitous. You know how you have hobbies or things that you love to do. It's like a natural God-given thing. It just flows. Okay, thank you. And mine is writing. When I was growing up in this little village here, we had a very old, small home in the back over here. And I had my best friend, Monty Hope, and I, we spent days together. We would walk around and stuff. But one of the things that we loved to do was to inspire each other. We love big words. I especially love big words. So I had my little notebooks, and I would always write big words in them. And Monty's job was to decipher what the meaning of the word is when I put them in sentences. And then as I went to high school and college and stuff like that, I always wrote extensively in descriptive terms about what my surroundings were. I love reading. And you know that Buxton library there, Buxton Secondary School Library, the little library in there? My goal, and one of my friend's goals, she passed away years ago, God rest her soul, was to read every book in that library. We read all the fantastic stories and different genres of books. But I love the books that put you in the moment. Books that when you read it, you felt like you were right there with the protagonist. And so we read extensively, and we pretty much read a lot of the books. Then I went on with my life. I did not know who I was or what my purpose was in life. In high school, I graduated and didn't know what in the world I was put on this earth there to do. I fumbled around, but God being so good, godparents are a blessing. Mrs. Julie Young, she was my godparent, and she would always try to help me. First of all, whenever I arrived at their home with a message from my parents, I had to stop, I had to look her in the eyes, and I had to enunciate things properly. And then she would listen and say, "Okay, Caryl, now, all right, this is what you said," and so on and so on. And the other thing she did was she looked out for me. When I finished high school, I didn't know what to do with my life. And she sat me down and she asked me questions about what I liked and so on. And eventually, she told me that I should apply to be a primary school teacher, the assistant. And she worked it out. And I describe in my book at length what happens to young people like you and so on. I received this letter, for me to attend, for me to go for an interview. And lo and behold, what is an interview? How do you appear for an interview? How do you dress? What do you say? I had no decorum or anything like that to help me. But then again, I have other people around me. They came on my side. My mom came by and she helped me. She said, "Well, you need a nice dress and you need a handbag," and so on. I did not have a handbag. So my mom secretly borrowed a handbag for me and helped me. I arrived at this interview and totally forgot what the position was that I was applying for. It was so mind-boggling, the things that we go through as young people. And I eventually, could you believe it? I went to that school, I performed very well, and eventually I left and I graduated from high school with high honors, went to Bladenhall Secondary School, loved it over there, and then I realized that I needed to find something, else to do. So eventually, after I worked for a little bit as a student teacher, I got a job at the Ministry of Finance and worked over there, expanded my horizons a little more. And because, for Buxtonians and people like us, education is always the way out. I decided to go to night school. Many of you do that. And I went to night school while I was working at the Ministry of Finance, did business, studied business, did economics and stuff like that. And then armed with this, I decided, okay, a friend invited me to go to Barbados. So at the age of 17, 18 or whatever, I risked everything and I decided to go to Barbados and find my way there, he couldn't find work and ended up being a nanny. And I say all this to you because now my passion is to help young people find their purpose in life. When I was coming on this trip here to the Guyana,